نرحب الآن بالرئيس والرئيس التنفيذي للغرفة التجارية الأمريكية توماس دونهيو.
Ladies and gentlemen, President and CEO, U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Thomas Donohue.
Thank you very much, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be with you. I'd like to thank His Excellency, the Governor and the Chairman of the Board of SAGIA, as well as their Executive Director for Investment Policy. Thank you both for your leadership in advancing the U.S.-Saudi commercial relationship and for graciously hosting this event today. We've already heard two terrific American executives this morning. PepsiCo and Lockheed Martin are great examples of U.S. firms increasing their trade and investment in the kingdom because doing business so makes progress for both of their companies. Their remarks are a perfect lead-in to what I would like to talk about today. The U.S. business community is a steadfast friend of Saudi Arabia. We are excited about the economic transformation underway in the kingdom, and we want to support these efforts through greater collaboration and new commercial partnerships. Our nation's private sectors work together. We can help realize, if we do so more aggressively, vast untapped potential in the bilateral relationship, driving growth, stability, and competitiveness in each of our economies. For the next few minutes, I'd like to talk a little about the U.S. Chamber's role in facilitating commercial engagement, some of the promising opportunities for new collaboration, and steps we can take together to pursue them. Some of you may be wondering what role the U.S. Chamber of Commerce plays in key bilateral partnerships like the one between the United States and Saudi Arabia. The U.S. Chamber is the largest business federation in the world. We represent the interests of more than 3 million American businesses in the public sphere and before U.S. and international governments. We place such a strong emphasis on global opportunities and competitiveness for a very simple reason. Beyond our own borders are markets that represent 80% of the world's purchasing power, 92% of its economic growth, and 95% of its consumers. With so much at stake, the U.S. Chamber is arguably the strongest advocate in Washington, as well as around the world, for sound, open trade and investment policies. Companies do the deals where there is strong mutual interest, but they must have the right policy environment. They must have reasonable assurances that trade and investment policies won't shift with political winds or be disrupted by events. Otherwise, great potential will be squandered. Our job is to make sure that good opportunities can be seized and potential can be maximized. So to all that share the vision of a broader, deeper commercial partnership between the United States and Saudi Arabia, you will find a steadfast ally in the Chamber of Commerce of the United States. Today, our nations have a solid foundation for building a better and stronger partnership. The Kingdom is already a significant country for U.S. trade and investment. Saudi Arabia is the 10th largest goods trading partner with the United States and its 8th largest supplier of goods imports. U.S. foreign direct investment in Saudi Arabia is well past $10 billion. American companies have long enjoyed mutual beneficial commercial relationships in the well-established energy and security industries. But there is potential for much, much more, especially as the kingdom transforms its economy from traditional energy sector exports and emphasizes knowledge-based industries that are key to competitiveness. The McKinsey Global Institute reported that a productivity-led economic transition could enable Saudi Arabia to double its GDP. And 60% of this growth will be propelled by non-traditional sectors. This has U.S. companies taking a fresh and aggressive new look at the kinds of commercial opportunities available here. We want to expand our investment and engagement into healthcare, information and communications technology, renewable energy, and other sectors that support competitive, innovative economies. There are incredible opportunities for competitive American companies to bring their technology, knowledge, and financing to the kingdom, and to partner with and support key Saudi Arabian companies. U.S. companies can help foster innovation in the kingdom's knowledge-based sectors and help new, small and medium-sized enterprise blossom. There will be particularly important opportunities for young Saudis as they look to future career opportunities. Creating sustainable jobs in a new economy will not only foster growth, it will ensure stability. It is clear that young Saudis are hungry for this opportunity and preparing themselves for the jobs of the future. Currently, there are more than 100,000 Saudis studying in the world-class U.S. universities, getting advanced degrees in diverse fields such as medicine, engineering, finance, and more. Many of these well-trained students will return to Saudi Arabia not only to enter your business world, but to be your future leaders. By growing our trade and investment relationship, we can help ensure that they have the opportunities and the incentive to invest their talents in training in the kingdom. A talented pool of young Saudi professionals will also be a resource for American companies who are doing business with the kingdom here and across the region. And because U.S. growth is tied to the growth of key partners, Saudi Arabia's economic success is in our fundamental interest. As American companies demonstrate growing interest in Saudi Arabia investment opportunities, the U.S. Chamber has continued to step up its efforts to encourage them to do so. More businesses from America and the kingdom are good for both of us. We have at the Chamber launched a U.S.-Saudi business program and the U.S.-Saudi CEO Summit. The broad objectives of these initiatives are to enhance and deepen the bilateral commercial and investment relationships between our countries. In the last 2 months, we have held 2 forums in the kingdom focused on the healthcare sector, one with the Deputy Governor of Saga, with almost 20 Saudi officials participating from numerous agencies. And just yesterday, we hosted the inaugural U.S. CEO Summit, U.S.-Saudi CEO Summit, with our friends and important partners at the Council of Saudi Chambers. Nothing like it has ever been done in the Middle East before. The bilateral CEO Summit convened about 30 U.S. and Saudi CEOs to discuss practical ways to address key trade, regulatory, and investment issues, which is an important first step to expanding this economic relationship. The CEO Summit began working on some of these issues by exchanging ideas, building mutual trust, and looking for common ground on challenges. We discussed ways to boost bilateral trade and expand commercial partnerships. And we laid the groundwork to address specific policy areas, including supply chain development, workforce productivity, improving the business environment, streamlining investment and tax issues, and increasing our collaboration in knowledge-based sectors. The U.S. Chamber and the Council of Saudi Chambers, together with the American Business Group in Riyadh, will work to translate these ideas into concrete policy recommendations that we will share with both of our governments. And we will continue the work of the CEO Summit between now and our next meeting in Washington later this year. We are strongly committed to these efforts because we know they can achieve results and drive progress in the bilateral relationship. There is no question that U.S. and Saudi companies have much to gain by working together, and that our economies will be strengthened through this partnership. But there is a bigger picture to keep in mind. The economic partnership between our countries underpins our strategic relationship, and that relationship will increasingly be tested by regional and global forces. As our interests converge in the face of geopolitical challenges, both of our economies must be strong, stable, competitive, and growing. Strategic strength is driven by economic strength. So it is important to always keep the lines of communications and commerce open to work together towards common goals and interests, and the United States and Saudi Arabia share many of them. With the support of our governments and our private sectors, the work of the U.S. Chamber and our Saudi partners will help our countries realize untapped potential for new partnerships and increased cooperation. It can help fuel stronger shared prosperity and greater stability. Ultimately, greater trade and investment can and will support and advance our strategic ties at a critical time for both the United States and the Kingdom. Thank you very much for my opportunity to share my views.